Hi guys, Matt here, Man City Fan TV, and welcome to our Manchester City versus Arsenal preview for Wednesday night's big game. And we have got a special guest on. You can all see who it is. It's the one, it's the only, it's Claude. You, mate?
How are you, Martin? How are you doing, mate? 12 weeks. It's not been easy, but it's good to have some football back, mate.
It is. It's a strange one because football's back. It's just that us as fans, we're not back.
It's a sad. That is sad, and hopefully it's not too long before we can all go back and support our team again. But it's at least we can see our team play. That's good, and at least we can see the game.
Yeah, that's the main thing. Not that we've got a lot to play for regarding the league, I don't think anymore.
And that's what gives me a lot of hope for Wednesday night. Actually, your intensity won't be at that level, so that gives me hope for Wednesday.
Well, we'll come to that in a bit on the score predictions. So, first question, quite simple. I was having a look through the stats of Arsenal since Arteta's taken over, and since I think it's January the 1st, you've only lost one game.
But one important one.
Yeah, I mean wasn't that the Olympiacos game? Was it? I think.
And we've had a lot of draws in that. We've had a lot of draws as well, and it's been a slow, steady start. I wouldn't go saying everyone. A lot of our fans think he's majorly improved things. I say it's a slow, steady start at the moment, and I think he's going to have a big job on his hands. He's definitely got a big job on his hands here. With recruitment and everything else. But that one defeat was probably one big test early on, and he didn't come through it very well. I mean, when you're winning 1-0 away from home in the first leg, you should be able to finish the job off, which we didn't. But he now has to show what he can do and whether he can recover from that.
Well, I mean, Arteta, as you know, we used to be our assistant. We loved him at Manchester City. Him and Pep have got a good relationship. How has he improved the team? And if he has, how has he actually done it?
Well, a lot of people might think because we've got a few good results with him, but I don't think there's much real change. It's slightly improvement in the team play. But it's all very well being a number two to a great guy like Guardiola, but to be the number one is a different pressure, different altogether. You know as well as I do. Sir Alex Ferguson had great number twos, but they never went on to be great number ones, did they?
Yeah, I think someone called Mr. McLaren jumps them out.
You got Brian Kidd, ex-Man City. Didn't do that great at Man City, did he? I mean, but he's now an assistant there, isn't he? One of the assistants there.
One of the coaches, yeah.
Yeah. They've got a lot of coaches there, haven't they? There's a lot of people behind the scenes there. They've got Kidd, they had Arteta there. I watched that All in Nothing documentary. It was quite fascinating watching that. And I said they're all standing there, arm folded, while he does all the talking and shouting. There didn't seem to be much input coming from the rest of them. It just seems to be all about him. You know what I'm saying?
I think, we've got a lot of coaches at City. We've just added a new one. Arteta's replacement is obviously in the form of Manuel, come over from China.
Yeah.
Just a 1-year deal. Apparently him and Pep were very, very close. Know a lot about each other. Manuel Limo. So we'll have to Lilo, should I say? So we'll have to see how it happens. But yeah, Pep does have a lot of coaches, but you can tell there's only one guy in charge, and that is Pep. You can tell that straight off.
Oh yeah, definitely. He's definitely got a lot of control of the football club anyway. Yeah, and that's the way it should be. Really, that's the way it should be. I mean, at the end of the day, it all falls on him, doesn't it? I mean, if it all goes pear-shaped, it's down to him. But at the moment, I mean, he's doing very well, isn't he? So,
yeah. Well, of course. Well, I mean, with Arteta being obviously under Pep, is there any Pep influences in the style of your play?
It's very difficult to say because not really, because at the moment, what you've got to realise, he's coming in. He hasn't got the standard of players that Man City have got. So it's all very well to say to come in and do the same thing, but the game is all about players. As much as you can, as I said, you can't polish a turd, can you? I mean, let's be honest. I'm just being honest now.
Yeah.
We don't have the likes of De Bruyne or Sterling or Aguero. I mean, we have got in Aguero, maybe we've got a Aubameyang, but that's about it.
Yeah.
And the only thing I would say that with the only weakness I can see in the City side is probably their defence at the moment, and he's coming into a worse defence at the moment. At our place, so whether what he can do with our defence, I don't know. But he's got a lot of work to do. There's a lot of player changes that need to be made in the summer, probably in the transfer window. A lot of changes need to be made. There are a lot of players there now not really up to the standard that you need to be where Arsenal should be, challenging for league titles or even top four. So it's a lot of work still to be done, but he could prove to be a great addition. Arteta could be to become one of the great, but at the moment it's too early to say.
Yeah. Well, everyone at City we were very, very sad to lose Arteta. I'll tell you one guy.
Yeah, but as a number two, you're sad to lose him.
Yes, as a number two.
You wouldn't exactly put him as a number one. You'd be worried, wouldn't you, to put him straight as a number one now instead of Guardiola, wouldn't you?
Oh, no, of course. There's no comparison. I mean, I will be honest. I said it on our channel. I thought it was a jump too early to go to a team like Arsenal. I thought he might have done what Lampard did and go down to the Championship maybe or somewhere like that and sort of cut your teeth a little bit rather than straight into a top club like Arsenal where if it goes wrong, he's not, I think we know managers don't get a lot of time in the league. They don't. And the thing is, will the fans at Arsenal, will you give him the time that he's probably going to need to get the job done?
Well, also with Guardiola, he gets a lot more say with his recruitment than what Arteta will get with the Arsenal recruitment as well. I think they will trust Arteta, Guardiola's judgment on players, where maybe our recruitment may not have that as much trust in what Arteta wants. So that could be another big problem for him. It's a major thing to take on, and the fans are going to be very impatient. They're very patient fans, impatient if they see that. You saw with Emery what happened, didn't you?
Yeah. Just a little bit. And we saw it with Wenger, Emery. Yeah, I think we've all seen it a little bit. I mean, you mentioned earlier about.
I don't want to be negative. I like to be real. Everyone is going to say tonight, "Oh, here he is. He's being negative." But I'm a realist. I've seen it all in the last 10 years. We're slowly going downhill. We're recycling, but we're not recycling in the right way. And I want to see an improvement. And maybe Arteta will give that improvement, but it remains to be seen.
I mean, I hope he does because, I do like Arteta as a coach, and I hope he does bring you success at Arsenal. But you said earlier about you wanting, you should be challenging for titles and top four. I mean, at the moment, you're ninth, I think. At the moment, you're ninth. With the games you've got left, do you think you could push for that top 6 or 7 or maybe a late dash for the top 4?
Oh, no, anything's possible. The running is, you don't know, there could be a lot of strange results with this empty grounds. Even, as you know, the City game is a game which could go either way, in my opinion, because I don't think the Man City game could fall in our favour, because I don't think Man City now, they know their title's gone. So their intensity in their game is not going to be like it was 3 months ago, because they know the title's gone. So it's psychological in the players' heads. It's all very well saying lift your game to that, but it's not as simple as that. So that's where Arsenal have a chance on Wednesday night. So it's a possible, but I think realistically for Champions League, I think we need to win about the 8 of our last 10 if we're going to be champion in Champions League. I think where Man City are now, they're in that second where I don't think they can go one way or the other, and I think they're just stuck in that second spot. So their main worry now, I don't know whether the Champions League will continue, is the Champions League now, isn't it? Competition.
Yeah.
That's there. And they're still in the FA Cup as well, aren't they? Are they still in the FA Cup?
Yeah.
I don't know who they're playing. Who are they playing?
Newcastle.
That's right. So that's where they probably have more of go, because they get realistically, it's a matter of time before Liverpool lift that trophy, isn't it?
Painfully, yeah, it is. And listen, Liverpool deserve it. I'm not one of these fans who are going to say.
And to be honest with you, last season to get a total like Liverpool did to be runners up, I mean, teams with lot less points have won the title last season than they done last season. So it was in a way they've deserved it this year, because they hands down they deserved it in every to win so many games and only lose one and not really only one draw. That's an incredible record.
Yeah, well, that's the difference this year. Liverpool haven't drawn as many because they only lost one last year, and that was to us. They just went on a drawing streak where they drew a lot of games, and that's where we went on a 14-game winning streak. This season, I don't think we've strung 3 wins together. And it is down to the defence. The defence is just, we've said it on our channel and every week, it's torn apart. We never replaced Company. Laporte's injury came at the worst time. And then you're having to throw, our best CDM into defence. So it just became a real problem. And I think we all knew when Laporte happened that the title was gone, really, because we just didn't have a defence. We didn't have one.
Yeah, but that's where your weakness is, isn't it? The defence, really.
Oh, yeah. Big style. That's where our weakness is. It's without help.
I do like Laporte, but I think it's the other areas, isn't it, really? Laporte's a good player, top player, I think.
He is. I mean, I think in the transfer window, I think we will. There's rumours we're definitely going to buy one. A lot of fans think we need 2 centre-backs. Might be a full-back. I think the majority of the area we're going to strengthen is going to be the defence, because Pep knows where we need. He knows it hasn't been good enough. Scoring's not a problem because statistically, and some channel love their stats. City are the top goal scorers in the country. We've had the most shots. It's funny because we've had Leroy Sané out and we've not really missed him. Defence-wise, we've struggled.
You've got even people like Mahrez that come off the bench as well. It's incredible squad you've got there, mate.
Yeah. Well, speaking of incredible players, a player I love, absolutely love at Arsenal, is Aubameyang. I'd probably, your main man, the guy.
Probably the only real world-class player we've got. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, he's been on a rich scoring form this season.
Yeah.
There's rumours he wants to leave or could be leaving. Apparently so. I don't know.
Well, I don't think he will, and I don't think Arsenal can afford to. I think the worst for Arsenal is that he'll just run his contract down, but I think he'll be there next season. I just don't think it's logical, because if they lose him, it'd be in a really big mess. You can't replace him, because what you're going to get for him now is, especially with all this carry on, you're not going to get that much money for him. So there's no way you can replace him unless we buy a top-class midfield player that can score goals, and then stick another guy up front and get the goals from midfield. But I can't see Arsenal. I think he'll. To be honest, I think he'll be there next season.
I mean, how is he? 31. Aubameyang, is he 31?
Yeah. I think what they'll probably try and do is, I think they'll offer him an extension with a year extension, so that covers them, and with another year on top if they qualify for the Champions League next season. But there's still a possibility, as you say, they could qualify for it this year. So
Yeah, definitely.
So
running.
I'm hearing the contract is there. It's just a matter of just speaking to him now and getting it sorted. And I don't think Arsenal can afford to lose him.
Have you got any? Is there anyone? I mean, honestly, I will be honest. I haven't heard a lot of Arsenal rumours, but is there any players rumoured to be coming in this? Do we call it a transfer window?
Well, there's Thomas Partey that's been the people on that has been mentioned quite high a lot through a lot of the rumours going around with him possibly exchanging with Lacazette, because Lacazette seems a little bit unsettled, and it wasn't actually. He would have actually gone to Atletico Madrid had they not been on a transfer ban when he did sign for Arsenal. So that could be a possibility of an exchange deal there. There is a real strong link with Upamecano at centre half. But I've watched him in the last few games in Germany, and I've not been that impressed with him. And I've been watching him lately. I've watched him before the lockdown, and he looked really good. But in the last few games in the German league, he's not looked that great. But I wouldn't mind giving him getting him in, and that's about it. I think there's also been the links with Coutinho. I'm not sure that will happen, to be honest with you. The wages and fee involved, I'm not really sure. The only way that will happen if Ozil is moved out. But who is going to take Ozil on 300,000 a week?
Yeah, that's. I mean,
but that could be a big thing. That could be a big stumbling block. I think he'll be there next season. So there's no way he'll be moving. So other than that, I've not heard any more than that.
No, I mean, I think we've been linked with 300 players so far. One of the latest one was Coutinho. We've been linked with now. If I say this wrong, you'll have to understand something, Claude. On our channel, I like to butcher names. I don't say them properly. And this is one that I always struggle with, which is the Upamecano fella who's been linked with us as well for the last few weeks. I think he's, funnily enough, he's only got a year left in his contract, hasn't he, at Leipzig? And he's available, is it around 45 million, something quite low like that?
Yeah,
something.
I mean, if it comes to Man City and Arsenal, they'd probably be slight afraid. The only Arsenal advantage with Arsenal over Man City, and if that happens, it would be if, of course, the attraction is London.
And first team football. Can we guarantee first team football?
Well, I don't know, because he's top player. I think, I can see that as well. But London is a big attraction.
Oh, of course.
Yeah. Although there are some very nice spots in Manchester, though. Don't get me wrong.
There is. I mean, I think we've seen London's an attraction. I think that's part of Timo Werner going to Chelsea. I mean, apparently Liverpool haven't got a lot of money, but London has to be the pull there for him.
Well, not only that, with Liverpool, it's they've got three out front, unbelievable. I mean, I think maybe he thought that he weren't really promised he could get first team action straight away, and I think he just wants to play football. So maybe Chelsea would. That's why he went to Chelsea.
Yeah, possibly. Well, Wednesday night, let's talk about it. Let's get to why we're here, shall we? Yeah, in an empty stadium, the Etihad. Most people will say that's normal for us, apparently. If you read Twitter,
it's normal for us as well, mate.
Yeah,
it's normal for us.
You haven't got any fans, we've got no fans, so it'll be a home from home from all of us, won't it? Before I go into the prediction, what's your predicted lineup for Wednesday? How do you think Arteta's going to go?
I think he won't change because it's such a short time. I think he won't risk what he normally does. I think he'll go for Leno, of course, in goal. I think he'll go Bellerin right back. I think he'll play. I think he'll either go Mustafi and Luiz or Mari and Luiz. It's touch and go. And I think he'll play Tierney. in that. And I think what he'll do, he'll play the two hold. He'll play probably Xhaka. This is not what I think he'll play. It's not what I would play. I think he'll play Xhaka.
Give us Arteta's and then give us what you would play.
Well, he'll play Xhaka and probably Ceballos as a two there, and then they got probably Mesut Ozil, and then you're going to have the front the three Martin, Saka, Aubameyang, and Pepe. And I think that's what he'll do. But myself, I would not play Ozil. I'd play Willock, and I probably wouldn't play. I wouldn't play Xhaka. I would play with Ceballos. I'd probably play Guendouzi. But if I had to choose between, I'm not a big fan of Xhaka. But
what is that just overall or because of what happened? And if anyone doesn't know what happened, you should do with Xhaka.
Yeah, I would actually. I might even play Marta, but I don't like to drop Xhaka. Saka's played well, but I like Martinelli. I think he needs a run in. I think he needs a run back in the team. I think he's done really well, and that's what surprised me about Arteta when he was player of the month, and then he took him out of the team as well. So maybe I would play Martinelli, Aubameyang, and Pepe as the three with Ozil there as well, because with Willock instead of Ozil. But I think he'll go with Ozil. I think he will go with Ozil, but he might surprise me.
I've got to be honest. Martinelli is a player when I think he played against us at the Emirates, didn't he? On the left, was it the left wing or? And I tell you what, he for the first 20 minutes, I thought he was going to be causing us all sorts of problems.
Yeah, but
hey, he's got it to burn.
Yeah, but that game, we'll forget about the game. That was like a training session, and
I've
never seen anything like it. I don't even think City broke sweat and they won that easy. That was that day. We were awful that day, awful. I wouldn't judge us on that day. I think that was. I think Lundberg was in charge then. I think, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, that was when Lundberg was in charge. Yeah, so I'll give you my lineup, shall I, for City on Wednesday? I think I'm going to go with Edison, even though I don't think he's had a great. I'm going to be honest. I don't think Edison's had a good season. I think he's had a below average season. He's been at fault for a few goals. I'm going Kyle Walker at right back, Benjamin Mendy at left back. Centre backs, I'm going to go with Fernandinho, and I think he'll play Otamendi. Garcia will hold, and then I think it'll be KDB, Bernardo Silva, Sterling, Aguero, and Mahrez. There's my 11. That is 11.
Did you say De Bruyne?
Yeah, De Bruyne and Bernardo Silva. I think Rodri will hold. I even though there's not a lot riding on the game, I think they've still got Champions League places to play for in terms of the starting 11. Right. And I do think they're going to want to, they're going to want to prove. And I'm going to be honest, some of these players are playing for the future right now. So
that could be a point, yeah.
Got to pull the socks up a little bit, and it's going to be now or never time because, unofficially the transfer window's now open, isn't it? So they've got to start. And the thing is, we're waiting on this CAS case before we can sign anybody.
Yeah,
that's up in the air. So we won't find out about that till the start of July, maybe the middle of July. So we're sort of, as I've said, we're playing stuck in the mud at the minute, transfer wise. So I think that's why the players, I think they'll be up for it. And funnily enough, I've gone for 3-1 because I think Aubameyang will score because our defence is awful. But I've gone for a City 3, Arsenal 1 is my prediction. What are you thinking score-wise?
I'm hopeful of a 1-1 draw because And I'm hoping my basis is that I just feel that we just might have a day when City won't be firing on all cylinders. I think maybe that intensity won't be there. That's my hope. So my opinion that their intensity will not be the same as if they were 2 or 3 months ago, especially with no crowd there. And I've watched also a lot of this football in Bundesliga with no crowds, and a lot of this away teams have been getting more results than the home sides. So that's my only hope, and I'm going to stick that. I'm going to stick to a 1-1 draw, but you might probably be right.
Well, I mean, I'm not going to lie.
No, if City turn up and play to the full maximum, whatever Arsenal do, it won't be enough anyway. So it all depends on the day whether City really want it as much. And I think Arsenal have got more to play for at the moment than City, in as far as the league's concerned. So maybe that's what might just give us a slight hope of getting a result. But I can see your point though with your forecast.
Yeah, I'm just thinking of playing for the future and everything.
Mm.
I mean, if I'm going to be honest, but if anyone could possibly beat us, it will be Arsenal because of the Arteta factor. No one's going to know Pep better than Arteta right now. He's going to know what he's going to do. He's going to know the lineup. He's going to know the players. So it could be that you do nick a result somehow. Because defensively, like I said, we're shocking. We're shocking. And Aubameyang is on
And that
form.
gives me hope, because that actually gives me hope when you say that, because of when our front three if they do perform, they can do a lot of damage. So that gives me hope. But as you say, it depends on the day. But going forward, City are, you can see a goal going in the first 5-10 minutes. Especially that De Bruyne. That De Bruyne is something else, mate. If he's on fire, you might as well just pack up. He's absolutely incredible player.
No, it is.
What a player!
To watch him live,
there's not many like, hey.
To watch him live every week,
it must be a joy. And Chelsea must be really can't believe that they let him go. I can't believe. Unbelievable player. Unbelievable.
Yeah, exactly. I have got a question. I know we talked about football and everything else, but I wanted to get your opinion. Now I know you touched upon it on that great video you did with Andy and a few others on your channel a couple of weeks back, which was great, may I add. But the actual return of football, how do you actually feel about it? What is your opinion on this return to football with no fans? Apparently, we're going to have FIFA computer chants put into the stadium, and
it's not the same, is it? I mean, it's going to be weird. It's not going to be right. But I do think whatever way you look at it, and I don't know. All right, we're going to miss out as fans. That's hard, and that is hard. But it would have been an injustice for me if Liverpool could not complete this league, have a chance. I'm not having a go at Man City, but I'm looking at it in general because they've deserved it. And for me, it wouldn't be right for them not to be able to complete after all that work they've done to get there. So I'm glad it's back in a way, so they can actually. I mean, they won't get much out because they can't really celebrate with their fans, which is sad. But at least that they can end that 30-year drought, because they deserve it. I mean, at the end of the day, come on, they've won 20 odd out of 25 out of 27 or whatever, and come on, in that respect. As far as the fans concerned, it's not right. But you know what gets me? I mean, I hope we can get back. I don't think there should be a delay in the fans coming back, because I'm looking at that demonstration in London. They're locking us up for 12 weeks. We've been locked up. Yeah, all of us have been locked up for 12 weeks. Yet that demonstration in London at the weekend, what's that all about? If it's that not safe, how comes we're allowing that to happen? Do you understand? So,
No idea. Well, around the corner from me last night, there was a rave with thousands of people in the local country park. You know, there was two raves
exactly.
in Manchester.
So
Right?
I mean, if that can happen, why can't we get fans back in?
I'm going to be well. That was going to be the next question. When do you think fans will come back?
Well, they're saying won't be until the end of into next year. So, which I think will be terrible. I mean, the clubs will completely lose a lot of money. A lot of clubs, and I fear for these. Not the big club. I fear for the teams in League One, the Championship, and all them. They,
Yeah.
they, they're the bread, and once you lose all that, then it's not the same anymore, is it? It's all right saying that because football's about not just about Premier League. It's about the four leagues. It's about the grassroots. I mean, if all them clubs go out of business, what chance have we got? No,
Well,
it's not right.
more.
Eh?
I couldn't agree more. It's yeah. I mean, there's a club near me on near us where we are
Yeah.
in Manchester, Bolton Wanderers. They nearly went out of business last
Well,
year.
exactly.
Now,
Exactly.
now they're going to have no fans, no nothing, and they've
And they
just
were a
been
major
yeah,
club. They were a
yeah.
major club. They gave us a lot of problems a few years ago in the league, and they're a major club, and they could go out of business. Can you
Mm-hmm.
imagine that? Well, we've
Yeah,
already had up your way, Bury.
yeah.
Going, you know what I mean? So we don't want to see that because it's not about just Premier League. It's about the the South End fan getting up on a Saturday, looking forward to going to watch his team. It's not just why should it be just about the Premier League team supporters? Every club in the 92 clubs, they've all got fans. They're going to lose out, and that's wrong for me. So as soon as they sort this situation out and let fans back, the better. And I hope it ain't too long because one thing that's proved this week is it don't seem that much problem to let all the thousands of people go down London. So what?
No.
So why
Well,
stop people going to football matches?
from what I've seen, no one is stopping it anymore.
Yeah,
Everyone
exactly.
now. I
So
mean,
maybe we might get back quicker than you think.
I hope so.
I think when it comes to business and the government and the business, I think they'll get people back a bit quicker than you think. Don't worry about that.
Well,
But
there's
they
talk.
can't see all that money going down the drain, mate. I'll tell you that now. So we will see. Don't worry. I don't think it'll be, but possibly just before Christmas. I don't even know when the pubs are opening back up. Even the pubs, when are they going to start opening up? Look at
Middle
all the
of
pubs.
July.
All the pubs now. They're losing. A lot of them might even go out of business.
Yeah, totally agree. I mean, there is rumours that there might be 10,000 fans allowed in for the Wembley Cup final, which might be a start. I don't know. But I mean, I've always said that's down to money because we all know Wembley's the biggest white elephant and it's in debt. And, you know, that's the reason why the semi-finals are there.
Mind you, you get 10,000 at Wembley, you might as well have it empty, innit?
Exactly. I'm going to ask you, I've been asked to ask this question, and I bet you've had this 1,000, because we have. But while you're on, I want to get your opinion on it. The biggest question of all, Arsenal Invincibles or Manchester City Centurions? Who was the better team?
I don't even think the Invincibles was Arsenal's best team, and I've had a lot of hassle about it. But what I would say there were. I would say I wouldn't say there's too much. I look at City's. I think City's Invincibles. There wasn't really that much pressure coming from anyone, was there? Where with
No.
Arsenal's Invincibles, there was a lot of. It's very difficult. It's very, very difficult to judge, really, because, to be honest with you, I don't think there's much in it. I don't even know who to give it to, really, because you're looking at the City. I think when Arsenal done it, there was Chelsea, Man United involved. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I think with Man City, when they went, I think it was a one-horse race. I don't think anyone really gave them a push. You know what I'm saying? So I still think that City, though, his achievement is better. Achievement-wise, I think it's better because 100 points is incredible. I don't care all about this. You can go unbeaten. You could go unbeaten all City. You can go unbeaten. It's it's okay. It's not. It's as far as I'm concerned, and I'll say this again. I don't want to upset all these Arsenal fans because they're going to say, "Oh, here we go." But I would have took one defeat that season or two defeats that season to win the Champions League.
Yeah.
See, all this about unbeaten. At the end of the day, it's just a title. It's a title like any other title. Like City win the title with 100 points. It's just a title at the end of the day. But you telling me, if you had the choice of getting 100 points or City winning the Champions League that year, what would you have had?
It's a bit hard to ask City fans about the Champions League. That's the problem, though.
Oh,
Because
right, yeah.
we're not that enamoured with it, really. We're not that in love with it. What I would say, though, Claude, on that, now this is just my personal opinion, I would put the Formidables of last season down as a bigger achievement just because we went and won, apart from the Champions League, we won everything that was available. I know we only got 98 points.
Oh, that's what I'm trying to say with Arsenal. When they've won the double twice under Wenger. Yeah, I would put them before because they've won 2 trophies. That's what I agree with you on that. I do agree with you. In fact, because you won 3 trophies last year, didn't you?
3 plus the Community Shield. If you're speaking to some,
let's not count that. Come on. No, but being serious, I agree with you. I think you've got a great point. You're going about Centurion. Maybe that team, because they were actually pushed as well, weren't they?
Yeah, we've got to remember we were 10 points. How
many points did you end up with? 98.
We were 98, 1 point.
And they ended up with 97, didn't they?
Yeah.
Finishing second on 97. So really, I think, to be honest with you, that team probably should be considered higher than the Centurions because they won 3 trophies. I can't understand that logic.
I think when we played Liverpool at the Etihad, if Liverpool had beat us, we'd have gone 10 points behind them. We beat them, closed the gap, and we won 14 games. The last 14 games of the season, we won every single one. That is some achievement.
Exactly. No, you can't beat that. That to me, I could go back to 89. I mean, I go back because you're younger than me, but I can go back to 89 when Arsenal won the title at Anfield. Probably one of the greatest Liverpool sides ever. And I'm not being funny. I actually believe that the standard of footballers back in the 80s and 90s were probably a higher standard. I mean, the top players. You know what I'm saying? So, because then you could. You got a bit more. It's no contact now, isn't it? Really, but then you could.
Yeah.
So, I mean, people go on about Messi, but I think for me, Maradona. I would put Maradona above Messi because he could. You could. He was his balance and the way he was incredible. But
that's someone
it's all about opinions. It's all about opinions, Martin. I just feel it's all about opinions. At the end of the day, we've all got different opinions. But if you're going to ask me about, I don't even think Centurions is your best team. I think that team that won the treble last year was better.
Yeah, and the thing is, people are saying we've had a bad season this year. We're actually on for a treble again. So we won Carabao, we could win the FA Cup, and at the moment we've got a 2-1 lead going into the second leg against Real Madrid. And then whatever else to do with this Lisbon tournament or whatever way, it'd be so hard.
What have City? I've never understood that. What have City got against the Champions League? Does this go back to they don't like UEFA?
No, a lot of people think we don't like UEFA because of the FFP. The FFP is only a small fraction of it. There's little things UEFA have done to City as a team and a club that have upset us. I'll give you a couple of examples. We played CSKA Moscow, and CSKA Moscow had to have a game behind closed doors away. So we went over to Moscow and we were told no fans, no nothing. And we got to the stadium and CSKA Moscow had a load of fans in the stadium, even though they were all banned. But they claimed it was all match club officials, funnily enough. But nothing was done. and then City will. You know when there's a rule where if you're late out in the Champions League for the second half by about 10 seconds or whatever, you can get fined. City were, I think they were late by. I'm talking seconds here. City were given a record fine. There was a team, sorry, who had an incident of racism. They got a lesser fine than City got coming out 20 seconds late in the second half.
Ridiculous, absolutely ridiculous. But then
So-
again, you've got to look at the people behind the UEFA at the time. Was that Platini's?
And not only that, with FFP, what people don't realise is FFP have moved the goalpost twice on City. This isn't just City failed it. City were going to pass it when it first come out, and then UEFA moved the goalposts.
Yeah.
So he failed.
But see, I believe if this City win this appeal, I think this FFP will just be irrelevant. It'll be just gone completely.
Yeah, it'll just be gone.
There's no room for it anymore because no one is going to abide by it because no one will.
Do you know what I find ironic? Your former manager Wenger, you know yourself, he was the one that used to chirp at us the most about FFP. And did you see the interview we did last week? He said FFP is unfair. It only allows top clubs to stay the top clubs. You can't invest in your team. And us as City fans were all sat there going, how two-faced are you from what you said when you were Arsenal manager?
If the thing goes against you, that Guardiola's future hangs in the balance. If it does go against you,
you're setting me up here, aren't you? If I'm going to be honest, and I said it on a show we do on a Friday night called the Friday Night Social, I did say it on there. I think if City do lose this appeal, I think Pep will leave. I think KDB will leave. I think if we lose it, it will no longer be about who we sign. It's going to be about who we can keep hold of. But the thing is, I'm not overly bothered because the thing is with a lot of City fans, you know, a lot of us were all there in '99 playing Gillingham, Blackpool, and everyone else were playing. And we were filling Main Road out, even though everyone's saying we've no fans. We were taking 6,000, 7,000 fans away everywhere. So
it's strange. Actually, it's strange you say that, right? Because I remember City. You're just saying that now. I remember City had a bigger sort of support when they were struggling. Because I remember when they went down to the second tier, they were still getting big crowds.
we were getting 30-odd thousand.
Yeah.
Main Road out.
It seems to me you've lost a lot of your fans since you moved from Main Road. Is that and gone to this?
No, we've still got those fans.
No, but what I'm trying to say, how can I say? They're not you've got more outsiders than you had before. More than the. Yeah. Would I be wrong in?
No, you wouldn't. And the thing is, it's like every club. As soon as you become successful, people jump on the bandwagon. You know, you've got people who are Man United fans and Liverpool fans, and a lot of them are loyal. But a lot of United fans came from when they won the trophies and everything else, and it happens. But I suppose, as you say, to become a world brand is what they're trying to do. Sheikh Mansour's trying to do that. I suppose you've got to get fans like that, and and we love fans on our channel. We've got fans on our channel from all over the world.
Sorry.
Oh, don't worry, mate. And they love it, and we love them on the channel. But yeah, I mean, some fans say they prefer 1999, but the only thing I miss about then is the atmosphere, because Main Road, it was bouncing. The Etihad doesn't seem to generate that atmosphere that Main Road did. As you might know from Hybrid to Emirates, you don't seem to bring that atmosphere across with you when you get into these modern day stadiums. That's the problem for me.
Yeah, that's the way football's gone, isn't it?
Yeah, unfortunately, It's the way of the world. But
I
mean,
remember my trips to Main Road, and when you park, I never forget. When you park your car, there was always a kid there waiting, asking, "Do you want to look after my car? Would you like us to look after your car?"
Claude, you couldn't say no because you'd have no car when you come back.
Yeah,
You couldn't say no.
yeah, it's
You make that
good old days.
but it was great. You know, the little side alleys, the back alleys we were running down, it was great. It was just one of them old-fashioned stadiums that a blind architect had built. It was just one of them, really. But, I mean, one thing I'm going to say, Claude, thank you for coming on. You've been an absolute superstar. Do you
Sorry
want to
about the interference.
tell
Sorry about the
everyone,
interference here, mate. It's a really
no,
bad line.
tell everyone about your channel?
It's Claude and the Bansters. Yeah, I've now got 2 people come on board with me now. So we'll really build the channel up. So we're going to do a lot of they'll be doing a lot of watch-alongs on the game up until the end of the season. Plus, we'll be doing podcasts, as one of your boys have been on already. I think it was Andy, was it?
Yeah.
Andy came on and was really very good. So yeah, so it's just a build. It's a small channel, but I'm trying to build it up, and who knows where we can go, But it's a nice thing to do. It's a relaxation from all this other things on my mind at the moment. As you know, I do suffer from depression, so it takes my mind off it, and I enjoy doing it. And but thank you very much for inviting me on, and I'd say good luck for the rest of the season, apart from Wednesday.
Apart from Wednesday, well, same to you. I mean, well, thank you. I mean, I hope you come back on again, or because I know in the future we'll do more stuff, which would be great because you're a superstar. But guys, get over, subscribe.
I'm just a normal fan like anyone else, I mean.
Yeah.
And I like talking. I just like talking football as with the little knowledge I know, and I enjoy doing it. But
yeah, so guys, in the description below will be a link to Claude's channel. Get over there, give it a subscribe. Does some great work, guys. As you can see, this is all in preparation for Wednesday night. City are back. City versus Arsenal, the game that was postponed from March. We all know what happened after that. But yeah, the boys are back. Live watch along on Wednesday night with me. We'll be on air from 7:45. We'll post links in the description. Guys, please make sure your notifications are set to public, not private, so you're notified every time we upload here on Man City Fan TV. I want to thank Claude. You've been a superstar, mate. Thank you very much.
Cheers, mate, and good luck. As I say, good luck for the rest of the season, apart from Wednesday. But also, thank you for inviting me on. It's been a pleasure.
Cheers, mate. And guys, this is Martin at Man City Fan TV. And as always, up the Blues.